So, what is the OSI model? What is the OSI model? Now, the OSI model stands for Open System Interconnectivity. The OI model stands for Open System Interconnectivity. Now, before we talk about the OSI model helps to understand how data is transferred from one place to another. Let's say you are transferring data from your laptop to another person. Yeah, that's how the OSI model helps. Now, what's the meaning of the OSI model? So the OSI model stands for Open Systems Interconnectivity. It stands for Open System Interconnectivity. So it is actually a conceptual framework. So that's the meaning of OSI. And then it is a conceptual framework used to understand how data travels across a network. And then it is important to know that the OSI model is not a physical device. And then it is a model that helps engineers and then computer scientists and network engineers to understand and then design network communication. So it is a model, it is a conceptual framework. Now, there are 7 layers of the OSI model, but before that, why was the OSI model created? Why was the OSI model created? So the OSI model was created to standardize communication between different systems and devices. It kind of make communication possible, brings communication on the same level, on the same mountain, on the same peak, so that communications between different devices across so many devices, like from laptop to phones to large computing systems to embedded system, all of those things. That's why the OSI model was created. So we have 7 layers of the OSI model. All right, so let's talk about the 7 layers of the OSI model. So we have the physical layer, the data link layer, the network, the transport, the session, and then lastly, the application. So now let's explain it. So let's explain it starting from the bottom, which is the application layer. So now what is the application layer? So the application layer is the top layer. The application layer is the top layer, and it is the closest layer to the user. So the application layer is in a way like it is the interface. So it is the interface of the application, and application layer also helps to send data to the interface or to applications. So the examples include the HTTP or the HTTPS, the FTP, the SMTP. So for instance, when you open a browser and access a website, you are interacting with the application layer. So when you open a YouTube and then you start watching videos, you are interacting. What you are doing is taking place at the application layer. So the application layer deals with the interface. It is the closest layer, as the name implies, application. All right, let's continue. So we also have the presentation layer. So now the presentation layer, once you think about the presentation layer, I want you to think, or once you hear about the presentation layer, I want you to cast your mind on data. The presentation layer deals with data. So it handles data. It encrypts your data, which is it protects it, it decrypts it, which is decode your data, it compresses your data. So the application layer deals with data, the encryption of data, the decryption of data, the compression of data, and all those things. So if the data needs to be protected before sending, it is the presentation layer which handles it. The presentation layer, remember I said that it is the layer of data. All right. So now let's talk about the session layer. So the session layer, what the session layer does is that it manages sessions between the devices. The session layer is actually responsible for establishing uh, connection. Once it establishes the connections, it manages it, and then it also terminates connections or it ends connection. So the session layer is more like controlling a conversation. It's the one that starts it, is the one that manages how the communication, whether the communication can take place at both times or only one communication can take place. All right.